Hey Drumline. So in this video we're going to be talking about what the rest of the year is going to be kind of looking like for Drumline. So obviously since we can't play drums, the next best thing is learning how to compose. Now being a good composer and a good drumline person is really important, and learning how to do both is a really important skill because it helps you understand your instrument a little bit better and helps you become a better player. So in this video, we're going to go over some basic compositional techniques, and I'm going to be using MuseScore and Flat.io to analyze some different drumlines cadences to show you what these composers are doing and to show you some good things that I want you to try with your next cadence due in 2 weeks from now. Now, as I noted in the Google Classroom comment assignment, I am going to make these assignments due every 2 weeks just to make it easier on you. So for this next assignment, I want you to write 8 measures. Take your old cadence that you just wrote, but you're going to refine it a little bit more. So you're still going to have 8 measures, but I want you to use some of the things we talk about in this video, just make it a little bit better. And as I noted, if you don't want to use Flat.io, you're welcome to use MuseScore. It's just that MuseScore takes a little bit more time to learn. So it's up to you to sort of learn it, but Flat.io is online and it doesn't require any download. But if you want to go take it to the next level, you can do MuseScore, and you can download it and do that as well. So the first cadence we're going to be looking at is this drumline cadence called Drumline Groove, and it is on MuseScore. This is one cadence that I was going to do with you guys, but I never got around to it. So we're just going to listen to the first little bit here. Okay, so what this composer has done is he is thinking in terms of a musical sentence. Now, just like when you write a paragraph in English class, you do the same thing with drumline. So with drumline cadences, musical sentences are often broken up into 4 measure chunks. Now, this first measure right here doesn't really count because that's just a count in. So the first measure is going to be actually right here, measure 2. Now, the first musical sentence is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, just like in English class, when you're writing a sentence, you often end, well, actually, you end a sentence with a period, an exclamation mark, or a question mark. So what the composer has done is he's written his sentence, and his idea is in the tenor line and the bass line. Da, 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 repeat, da, 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 and he's ended his sentence with some fancy 16ths. So da 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 da, and some 16ths in the snare and some different rhythms in the tenor line. Now, a great compositional tool is to use a repeat. Now, for your assignment, you're welcome to reuse a repeat, and then you get an easy 8 measures right there. But I mean, it's a little lazy, so just for now, try not to use a repeat for your 8 measures. Write 4 the 8 original measures. But the use of repetition when you're writing your drumline cadence is really important. So not every measure has to be different. So you'll notice this measure is identical to this measure, which is identical to this measure. The only one that has changed is this. And that's no different than writing a sentence in English class. That's totally fine, okay? Now, one other compositional technique I want to talk about is that it is totally okay to use rests and to use silence and to use lack of rhythm to your advantage. So very often in drumline cadences, you want to draw attention to certain sections at certain times. You don't want attention on one section at all times, or attention on every single person at every single time. That kind of draws the audience away and makes the cadence uninteresting. So if you'll notice, the very first attention grabber is going to be in the tenor line and bass line, and the snare drums and cymbal lines aren't really doing much at all. And then if you notice in measure 5, the attention kind of gets drawn away to the cymbal line, and then the snare drums start doing something more interesting as well. So when you're writing your cadence, your 8 measures, start thinking about, where's my attention going to, and is it interesting? You also want to think about playability. Some of you wrote your drumline cadences with extremely hard bass line splits. Like, you have to think, is it possible that the bass line could play it? Now, I have full confidence that our bass line is pretty awesome, but I mean, some of the stuff you wrote was like crazy difficult. So you want to think, is this playable and is this difficult? Okay? So we're not going to talk about sticking or dynamics or anything like that, but those are some of the important things I want you to think about. So take your cadence that you wrote in your last assignment. You're going to refine it and make it a little bit better. Here's the things you need to remember. Keep it simple. Focus only on one instrument at one time for now, while keeping the other parts kind of minimal. Don't be afraid to use repetition, and think about your musical sentence. It's often going to be in 4 measure chunks, ending your musical sentence with something a little bit different than what happened before, like these 16ths and these 16th runs down here. Okay? Yeah, otherwise, enjoy your creativity. I look forward to hearing what you got. And thank you for rating these cadences because it helps me out big time. And I really want to use these cadences next year because I think that would be so cool if we could do like drumline cadences written by you guys. How cool would that be? So, thanks guys.